Okay, so let us start today's session. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. First of all, I'll thank you each and everyone for taking out your precious time on Sunday evening because you had that option to do something else also, but you choose to be here and let us see. So, on behalf of ISKCON Seshadripuram, Bangalore, I welcome everyone to this special session of Gita Gyan, which is known as Gita Mindset. So, how we can apply the principles of Bhagavad Gita practically in our daily lives? So, in today's session, we'll be saying it. And can somebody say what is the name of today's session? Is this in this Gita mindset?
How to
Yes,
How to
think big.
think big.
yes. So, in our daily to daily life, we have seen we want to. In order to dream big, we need to think also big. So, how to think and dream big? So, in today's session, we'll be saying it. So, So this program was dedicated to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and will take his blessing and will proceed further. We will also inspired by His Holiness Jai Pataka Swami Guru Maharaj, who is the GBC and spiritual master. So we'll take his blessing and we can start first with the prayers. So it's a saying, when we start with the prayers, we invoke the mercy of Lord Krishna says that we are able to understand the message of a Bhagavad Gita. So today's class is on the practical application of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'll start. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnana Jana Shalakya Chakshur Militam Yena Tashmai Shri Guruve Nama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Itinamine नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्यता देशातारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासति गौर भक्तविंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे हरे नमा ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जय पताका स्वामी इति नामिने नमाचार्य पदाय निताय कृपा पदायिने गौर कथा धामा दयनगर ग्रामा तारिणे मुखम करोति वाचालम पंगुम लंते गिरिम यत् कृपातहम अहम वंदे श्री गुरुम नितारणम परमानंदम माधवम श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम. Hare Krishna. So let us see. In order to think big or in order to achieve any activities in our daily to daily life also, so we should be very ambitious in our life. So for that, we'll see. So there is a question which is flashing on your screen. Should we be ambitious in our life? Can somebody answer?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
So what kind of ambitions you should be having in order to achieve those goals? Can somebody say? Okay, so in today's session, we'll be saying ambitious. What are the different kinds of ambition which people generally have? Let's see those kinds of different kind of ambition. So sometimes people might be thinking, I want a bike, I want a car. So these are general small ambitions. And in our daily to daily life also, we have seen, so from our childhood to growing up to the age of adult, so everyone, this ambition is keep on changing, or the goal of the life, or you whatever you want to achieve, actually it keeps on changing from time to time also. So there are different kinds of ambition depending on the individuals. So these are the different kinds of ambition which will be which we have tried to segregate, and everything comes under this only. So usually people are like ambitious. Okay, I want to achieve this, and then I want to. So when what happens? So somebody want to have a greater lifestyles. So in order to have a greater lifestyle, so they have everything. So they have a wonderful car is there, then they compare with somebody else. So my neighbor is having a beautiful car, so I also want to have a car. So like that, according to their lifestyle, so everything is there. This food, shelter and house is there, but they want to have according to the society, according to that they want to have a lifestyle, they want to have a good lifestyle. So what happens? So they have some ambition. Okay, if I achieve this one, if I have these things, then what will happen? I will be more happy and will be more content in my life. So we can see this Ambani, Andani, Elon Musk are also having so many of ambition in their life. They are working so day and night hard, and they're earning crores and millions of rupees. And but still you think, see, these people are not sitting peacefully. So Elon Musk is the richest man. Is he content right now? So look at the anxiety actually he has. They are all ambitious person, done a lot of things due to ambition. So some people have that ambition for survival also. So in order to survive in an industry, in order to survive in this market, people work very hard. Okay, I just want to survive. That's it. Nothing else is required. Some people, if you see, they start their package as 50 lakh or 60 lakh per month also, but still they want to have a growth in their career also. So growth is also there. So there is, so for them ambition is there. Okay, in this year I want to increase my salary up to this x, suppose x amount, whatever fields they are working. If there somebody is working as a businessman, they want to increase their revenue to multifold, and they want to grow in their business also. So it's like depending on their, whether it's money, whether it's been business, whether it's a professional, so everyone wants to grow in their career also. So already they're starting at a very huge amount. So suppose if somebody is starting at 50 lakh or something per month, so somebody is having a survival, okay, for me 10,000 rupees is also enough. So what happens, depending on person to person, their ambition keeps on changing. So somebody wants to have a status. Okay, already I have a 5 car. I want to build a status. Okay, like I should be having this BMW, Ferrari, like that. This car should be there. Then only I'll be having name. I'll be having fame in the society will be there. And somebody wants to do a job, in their job also they want to reach a higher level. Okay, what happens, first when we are like freshly fresh out from the colleges, we think of the job. Okay, if I get a job I'll be very happy. Once we get into a job, what we think of a growth. And then once we think of a growth, we want to become a higher level. Okay, I want to be a project manager, I want to be a certain CEO of this company. So we see in each and every space of life, in order to have, what is there, these are this different kinds of ambitions are there which people have in order to make their life successful. So we say all those things are there. So what happens next, when people, or when the human beings thinks big actually? So these are like a big think picture. Like when you think big, what will happen, you will grow in your whatever space of life are there. So we see everyone have their ambition in their life. So what happened when human beings are thinking big, we'll see. So we see here, it's a generally picture which we have put it here. So from time to time, or a number of eras have passed, we see how the industries have revolved. So in that, during this 1784, if it's just is there, the, at that time, this industry 1.0 was there. At that time, if you see, people used to have a mechanization, steam power, waving loom. So at that time industry was there. So how we seen in this beautiful picture, how the technology and how industry have changed over the past, because of the people thinking big. Okay, they want to have a comfort level of life is there. So in the starting they were having steam engine, and then as the technology progressed, the same thing, steam engine was transformed into electricity. We see the rail engines in even our daily to daily lives. Earlier this, it was a steam engine was there, and then the diesel came. From the diesel, electricity engine came. So like that, in the industry also we have seen it's been transforming. So then from the electrical energy, what it came, computer it came. So computer was introduced, and when the computer came, and then after that internet was introduced, and when internet was introduced, and further to revolve around this, what was there, mass production was there. Earlier it was the manual effort was there, and when computer and internet came, what happened, automation started. The same mass production was done, but not by any human, but it was done by a robots. Robotics came into that picture, and robots can conduct. We have seen how robots are very efficient nowadays. Robots are conducting surgeries also, no need of doctor. We have seen manual cars are there. So this we see, can see automation of the computers and electronics was there. Now today, if you see, the technology and the industry have so much evolved that no need to do anything, just by pressing single from your hand, or single pressing of a one remote only, everything is at your feet. We can see if you want to eat, just order it from a Zomato or Swiggy. No need to go outside. What is happening? Everything is coming at your doorstep. Everything has been so modernized, so technologized. Everything is there. So we see because of Internet of Things and the networks, everything is there. So I remember the previous company I was working with. So they had this automation was there. So there was like a 5 kilometer of the huge industry was there, and it was singly monitored in what happens in a single room was there, and everyone was able to monitor from a PCM or a single desk was there. They was able to control everything. And as the evolve is there, the person no needs to be there in that particular room, so he can start anywhere in the factory, and through his smartwatch and through his smartphone he can control the whole factory. He can shut down or put on this anything of this. So we see how when people started thinking big, how innovation came and how industrialized was realized. And we can see when COVID also came, technology and lifestyle also of the people started changing. Like earlier we used to carry cash in order to go anywhere and to buy anything. So you can go anywhere buy without any cash. Everything is constantly changing. Only you need is a smartphone. Nowadays it's also there. Smartphone is also not needed, or internet is also not. The offline UPI is also there. So if you go anywhere, you are able to do a cashless transaction is there. So we have seen how when the people started thinking big, industry and everything started changing. Let's see what impact it brought to the healthcare also. So we had a better healthcare system. Like people, whatever disease was there, they are able to, doctors are able to help those disease, and people are able to live longer also sometimes. So whatever diseases are there, everything is been medicines are there, and there is a better healthcare is there, better security is there, a great lifestyle is there, people are nowadays living. So the doctors also says the focus on prevention is also there. And whenever is the diagnosis is so good in nowadays because of the healthcare, the early management of health condition can be diagnosed. So we have seen like earlier those severe, like when a woman is pregnant, they're able to do with MRI and CT scan, everything they're able to say okay the child is good or not. So this maternity and this newborn care is also taken care at most. And this prescribed drugs, whatever is there. Earlier if you see 1920s, there was no drugs for measles and chickenpox. When the like disease came, what happened, like everyone was, people was dying. And soon after that we have a cure, we have a drugs for all those diseases coming. So medical emergency services are also there. So there is every hospital have this medical emergency. So if any emergency cases are coming, what is happening, people are taking the care of them. So rehab centers are there. So lot of benefits are there with this technology once they are advancing. So some of you want to include any of good points which you think, as the technology is advancing, how many benefits we are having, how many benefits we are reaping. Can somebody wants to answer? Any 1 or 2 point, devotees?
Education, Prabhuji.
Yes, education is also happening in a very good, fast way. People are educated. We see a lot of doctors are there. But we see any good thing comes, it comes with its cause. So we're seeing so much of advance we are becoming. Healthcare is improving, everything is there, innovation is happening. Just sit at your home and just one click, everything you can order. So with it comes variety of demerit things also. Let us see what were those things when technology evolved and how our lives actually changed. So what happened when the technology came, varieties of diseases also came into this picture. We were saying since technology is advancing, there was previous days, like if you see live transplantation of liver or heart surgery is there. Earlier it was not supposed. If a person dies, if the heart or any of their organs have failed, what happens now means if a donor is there or the receiver is, they can donate their organs to a receiver, and like that medical and medical facility was given. So what happens, so various kind of diseases also came. So we see as the technology evolved, earlier so many diseases were not there. And we saw also increased in the crime rate, increase in the war rate also. So, see, we saw security with this technology, security system are also there, and but crime runs also increase. So we can see a lot of with internet, a lot of people, if some money is there, we are deposited in the bank, somebody can get hack your account and take out the money also. So we say wars we used to hear only in Ramayana and Mahabharata earlier in certain eras. But now if you see the tribal issues for a small issues also, there are big wars that's coming. Now see every country is fighting for a small piece of land and for a small issues. It's a sense. So there might be a world war because of water issues also. We see their industry has given us so much, but we don't have unadulterated milk or pure water, because earlier they used to drink water from this river in this mud pot only. But if we see 20 years or 25 years back, I still remember when we were at home, we used to carry our water from our home only when we used to travel in a train and all. And nobody thought like the we will be like water bottles will be sell actually in the market. So that's what we are seeing down the 25 lives. Every whenever we are traveling, we are carrying those water bottles to drink. We are buying, and somebody is like, we see a varieties of monies are we are spending on those things earlier this, and so the rivers are nowadays are becoming, because of the industries is becoming polluted. How can we all call this as an advanced civilization? So there is a saying crime against women and children have also drastically increased. And with this COVID time also, people the means not only like the children's or the students, parents are also becomes very like ambitious, so they want their children to get first only. And earlier we remember when we were there in the childhood, we our parents used to scold like, why don't you go and play outside? Nowadays if you see, like parents are scolding, why are you always busy in your phone, just go and play outside. So that's with this evolved technology, everything now we're seeing this gray hairs, eyesights, people are wearing specs and all those things are there. Even their health is also. So earlier, for buying things also, if you see, people used to walk out from their house and buy some vegetables. And also nowadays, the technology is so advanced, no need to buy also. You just click on here, home deliveries will be done through various of apps will be there. So convenient the life has made because of the technology. So with everything pros, cons also come. So where are we heading actually? So can somebody says this technology have affected your life also and in the family life? So we have seen earlier days, like when we used to go home in our vacation, like especially on the summer vacation or winter vacation, I used to study in my hostel. So when I used to do, we used to never used to have any phone till my college life. I never used to had phone and all those things. So when we used to go, we used to interact with our friends, family members. Nowadays if you come to house, father is busy in their phone, mother is busy in their phone, and the children is having his own smartphone, and everyone is all busy, and the only time is there, even if they are having dinner also sitting on the same dining table, and everyone is busy looking in their own. So nobody time. So that's what, like, we are so engrossed in this smartphone. If the smartphone is not there, we become so anxious. Oh, smartphone is there. Okay, before we move to this further topic, so just this is a great picture. If somebody wants to add how their lives have changed, it will be very great. Yes, Lata Mataji, want to say something? Hari Krishna. Himanshu Prabhu, you want to say something? Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, Prabhu. So, an analogy of this picture, right? I think most of them should be in agreement. If you look at a robo and a person, right? When you're going
Yes,
for materialistic things, a robo doesn't have a heart. It cannot think by its own. It's programmed,
correct.
right? Whereas you
Yes,
as a human have a different capability. So the thing that everyone misses in this materialistic world is things are more about how you are entertaining yourself. So even back in India and majority of the Western world countries, the way I have seen it is people have shifted, right?
mm,
So not it cannot be just mobile. So even while dining, I have seen the practices come instead of sitting at a dining table. Most of them get to it at a TV. In India, it is news. Somewhere
correct.
else, it's a movie. You know. hardly what is the purpose of a dining table itself is lost. Ask me about the dining table sales at any of the
Mhm.
furniture stores. It's lesser than TV, right?
Yes. Yeah, Prabhu. Thank you for bringing up the point. As they say, I was coming to this point. What we see, the love and care which we used to have in our family and our everything is missing. So people, because of their ambition, they are so much worried in that. So they are not like focusing on their values or their families or like that. So with this, we bring to our next slides. What is ambition actually? So there are two kinds of ambitions is there. One is healthy and one is toxic. Is there? So nothing wrong being actually in ambitious. People should be having ambition, and then only they will be able to work on those goals and their. So we must be ambitious in a healthy way. A healthy way will be happening. So we say when we are healthy, we are able to lead a healthy life also. When we are having a toxic ambition, what happens? Everything. When a person is very toxic, what happens is toxic is if you see as a definition only, a toxic person is anyone whose behavior actually adds negativity and upsets near about surrounding life. So many times people who are toxic are dealing with their own stresses actually and trauma. So to this, they act in such a way that they don't present in the best light and usually upset others, human beings also is there. So there are two beings in this. You might have seen in your office, you might have seen in your family. Okay, I want to grow. Somebody saying something. Okay, I want to grow. In order to grow, also what they do, they don't care about the superiors or the inferiors, about the family members, about their like friends. Sometimes they go to atmos to substance, then they kill also. They murdered also in order to grow. We have seen lot of news also. A lot of this brother have killed his younger brother already in order to take the property also. So yes, ambition is healthy. We should be having a healthy ambition in order to progress in a good way. No, we shouldn't be having a toxic. We'll be seeing a lot of examples also. So we'll see what does this modern science says about ambition, how is it been taken care. Okay, so ambition. So somebody wants to read it, please. Is it possible? I'll say Bindu Lekha Mataji. Is it possible to read it? Okay.
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yeah, Nitya Mataji, please go ahead.
What does modern science say about ambition? Ambitious kids had higher educational attainment, attended highly esteemed universities, worked in more prestigious occupations, and earned more. So it would seem that they are poised to have it all. However, we determine that ambition has a much weaker effect on life satisfaction and actually a slightly negative impact on longevity. So, yes, ambitious people do achieve more successful careers, but that doesn't seem to translate into leading happier or healthier lives. University of Notre Dame. Thank you,
Yeah,
Prabhuji. Hare
thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. So this is a research which was done by University of Notre Dame, which is saying the modern science says about this ambition. We have saying yes, it's saying this ambitious kids from their childhood they are being taught you need to be ambition, you need to focus on your goals, you need to have. So these peoples usually these kids have this higher educational, they achieve a higher education, they attend to. Just a second, I'll mute. Yeah. So I was saying they go to this top-notch universities, their schools, and they've been taught everything. So from their early teens only, they are being prepared in such a way. So day and night they are working, such they are able to like go to this prestigious companies after passing out from their schools and colleges and more. So people are nowadays are means more focusing on money. If they have more money, so they will be thinking, okay, I can have a good lifestyle, I can have. We saw how different kinds of ambitions which was there. I can have a good lifestyles, I can have a status in this society, people will be recognizing me, and all this what happens of it all. So we were determined that ambition have, but we see yes, these people were earning more and more. But we see, having said that, there was a other side of this ambition has made them weaker effect on this life actually, on the satisfaction level. Even I had met a lot of my friends also who earning more than crores of like yearly packages and also. So when we sit down and we have a conversation amongst them, they say like I have, like everything is set, I have my families, like I have everything, I have like 8 to 10 houses are there, 10 to 12 cars are there, There are so many servants are there who is serving us, but friend, there is no satisfaction, there is no inner satisfaction, there is no contentment is there in us actually. And actually this feel like there is a negativity, there is okay, if I come home also, I always think about like how I can grow more and more. I don't talk to my parents, I don't talk to my wives also, and there is like there is always an impact on this family dimension of their life also. So yes, ambitious people do achieve more successful careers. Here it is saying according to this one, but that doesn't seems to translate into leading to a happier and a healthier life. So ambition is good, but we say if you're lot ambitions, it will be like you won't be like, you will be so much drag into that, you won't be having a happier or healthier life. We'll take some example also. So this was the research which was done by University of Notre Dame. We'll see what do our scriptures say about thinking big, or what kind of ambitions we should be having. So from to like there is a wonderful story of in the scriptures, which is in the Gita 18 days. Maybe you have heard this stories also, but then in a shorter formula we have told. So can somebody tell who is this gentleman, or is this boy who is flashing on the
ध्रुवा
screen?
महाराज प्रभुजी ध्रुवा
Yes.
महाराज
Yes,
Dhruva
Rachna
Maharaj.
Mataji. Yes, Sukha Mataji. Everyone is clear. This is none other than Dhruva Maharaj. So, from the life of Dhruva Maharaj, how we can learn how to go for a ambition. How should we like achieve? How should we having a goal? So, this was a story of a Dhruva Maharaj who was a 5-year kid, 5-year old, and wanted to become the king of the world. So this is how we can learn from this Dhruva Maharaj story pastime. So Dhruva Maharaj, usually if you see, he was born as a son of great king. Who was the king name? The king actually name was Uttanapad, and this king has two wonderful wives, and from this two wonderful wife they begot each one children. So this one queen name was Suniti and Suruchi. So Suruchi was much more dearer to the king, and Suniti, who had a son named Dhruva, was not his favorite. So two wives was there, one was Suruchi, and from Suruchi Uttama's son was born, and from Suniti Dhruva Maharaj was born. One more thing is there about King Uttanapad was there. King Uttanapad father name was Swayambhu Manu. And who was the father of Swayambhu Manu? Lord Brahma himself. We see. So this 5-year-old kid wanted to have a kingdom greater than his grandfather, greater than his Lord Brahma. And we see Lord Brahma have an entire universe in which 14 planets are system. So the story goes like that. Let's see how it goes. So we in this picture, if you see, this King Uttanapad is here, and king. So once upon a time, this King Uttanapad was patting the son of Suruchi. So this Suruchi's kids was sitting on his lap, and he was patting him. His name was Uttama, and he placed on his lap. So Dhruva Maharaj, so this is Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva Maharaj also trying to get on the king's lap actually, but the king did not very much welcome actually Dhruva Maharaj. And while this child, this Dhruva Maharaj, was trying to get on the lap of his father, the lady which is displayed in this picture, Suruchi, his stepmother, became very, very envious of this child. And with great pride, she began to speak so as to be heard by the king himself. And what did she say? So Queen Suruchi told Dhruva Maharaj, my dear child, you do not actually deserve to sit on the throne or the lap of the king. Why? And this like Dhruva Maharaj was taking aback, surely. And then queen continued, surely you are also the son of the king, but because you didn't take birth from my womb, you are not qualified to sit on on your father's lap or the king's lap. So and then she further continued, my dear child, you are unaware that you were born not within my womb but of from another woman. So and further she scolded Dhruva Maharaj and said, if you at all desire to rise to the throne of the king, then you have to undergo severe austerities. Just think, this 5-year old child has been scolded by another queen and says first, and then the queen continued. First of all, you must satisfy the supreme personality of Godhead Narayana, and then you are favored. Once you are favored by him, because you have done worship, you shall have to take next birth from my womb. Then you can sit on your father lap. So this was the statement which was given from Queen Suruchi, and as I said, it's mentioned in the scriptures, like as a snake when struck by a stick, breathes very heavily and it's lament and is not able to breathe so much quickly. So Dhruva Maharaj also, having been struck by a strong words of his stepmother, he began to breathe very, very heavily. And because of great anger, because he was Kshatriya, when he saw that his father was also very silent and did not protest, he immediately left from that place and went to her mother actually. And when Dhruva Maharaj reached crying within his anger, and then sobbing, and he was crying, and then he went to his mother, and his lips were very trembling in anger, and he was crying very grievously. And then Queen Suniti immediately lifted her son onto her lap, while the place residents who had heard all these hard words of Queen Suruchi related to everything detailed to Queen Suniti. And thus Suniti also became very greatly aggrieved. And then we see how wonderful we see sometimes in our family life also we might have been seeing there are brothers or there's something. So see how wonderful Queen Sunati is teaching a lesson to Dhruva Maharaj. He's replied, my dear son, don't wish anything inauspicious for others. Anyone who inflicts pain upon others suffer himself from that pain. So Queen says, no, it's okay if somebody is scolded. Whatever she have told, she's telling her correct only. The king favors the queen more. And without further delay, yes, but one thing important she have told is there, she have told, if you worship supreme personality of Godhead, whatever you desires, you'll be getting that. So she said, without further delays, if you engage yourself in worshiping the lotus feet of the supreme personality of Godhead, and then she told, yes, this is very correct. And she continued, the supreme personality of Godhead is so great that simply by worshiping his lotus feet, your great grandfather, Lord Brahma, also acquired the necessary qualifications to create this entire universe where we are living actually. So Dhruva Maharaj mother Suniti was actually meant for fulfilling his desire objective. So therefore, after deliberate consideration and with intelligence and fixed determination, what happened, this Dhruva Maharaj left his father house. We see Queen, like it's mentioned in the scriptures, so Suniti thought like just she was consoling Dhruva Maharaj. She didn't thought like Dhruva Maharaj would have left this palace and then would have ran. So what happened? So immediately after hearing her mother words, Dhruva Maharaj, this 5-year-old kids, has left the palace and walked towards the forest. And we'll see how Dhruva Maharaj met with Narad Muni. So what happened? This the great sage Narad Muni heard this news, and understanding all the activities of Dhruva Maharaj, he was struck with wonder. He approached Dhruva Maharaj at once here at this just outside the palace when he was going to the forest. And he approached Dhruva and touched the boy head with his all virtuous hand. And he spoke to Dhruva Maharaj. How wonderful are these powerful Kshatriyas, if you say so. Dhruva Maharaj was a Kshatriya, and they cannot actually tolerate even a slight infringement upon their prestige. Actually, we can see even 5 years old also he was in so much of anger and he was so much in anguish. Just imagine, this boy is only a small child, yet harsh word from his stepmother proved unbearable for him. And then this great sage Narad Muni told to Dhruva Maharaj, my dear boy, you are only a very little boy whose attachment is now, what's your tender age is there, you should be attached towards the sports and the other activities which your usually your friend does. Why are you so affected by the words like insulting in your honors or dishonor is there? But and then Narad Muni said, and then he had a further talk with Dhruva Maharaj, and he said, "No, you should be staying here only." And then Dhruva Maharaj also told something, and then further Narad Muni say, "In my opinion, whatever austerities you want to have are not possible for any ordinary being." Any ordinary man going to a forest and doing so much of austerities is itself in a danger. It is very difficult to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Further, this Narad Muni said, and then Narad Muni continued giving instruction to him. After he said, after trying this process for many, many births and remaining unattached to this material contamination, actually placing themselves continually in trance and executing many kind of austerities, many mystic yogis were unable to find the end of their path, which is God relation. They are not able to see God. So for this reason, Narad Muni said, "My dear boy, you should actually not endeavor for this, and it won't be successful. It is better that you go home and stay with your parents. When you are grown up, by the mercy of the Lord, you will be getting a chance for this mystic performance or for this penances or this austerity. At that time, you can come and execute this function." So then, and this Dhruva Maharaj again got angry, and he said, "Oh learned Brahmana, oh Narad Muni, I want to occupy actually a position more exalted than anyone have achieved within these three worlds by anyone." Look at this 5-year-old kid ambition. What ambition, what desires he was having. He wanted not his kingdom. His mother told, "Go and then you'll be able to sit on his lap." But he said, "No, I don't want this kingdom. I want a kingdom which is more exalted than in this entire three worlds than anyone, even by my father, and even the greater than my grandfather, which is Lord Brahma himself." So this boy continued, "If you will oblige, kindly advise me an honest path to follow, which I can achieve the goal of my life. Otherwise, dear Narad Muni, kindly don't obstruct my path. Kindly leave me and let me." So it's a saying, Narad Muni, when he was asking, "Where are you going?" So these are a kind of test which Narad Muni was taking. So it was a guru and test. He says, "Oh, you don't want to say, like further condition was there." So then Narad Muni says, and Narad Muni was very happy with the determination, this like what he wanted to achieve in his life. And it was says, "My dear boy," he said, Narad Muni said, "Yeah, I'm very happy that you have passed in my test, and therefore I wish all the good fortune comes to you. You should go to the bank." And they instructed further. He said, "You, how you can achieve this way? You need to go to the bank of Yamuna, where there is a virtuous forest which is named as Madhuvana." And then he said, by simply going there only, lot of people gets purified. Because why? When one draws nearer to this Madhuvana, so there is a saying, the Supreme Personality of Godhead lives there, and is a saying they will be getting the benefit. So Narad Muni said, "My dear boy, once you reach this Madhuvana forest, there is a river known as Yamuna river, which is known as also Kalindi. You should take 3 times bath daily, because this water is very, very auspicious, and it's very sacred and very clear. So once you take bath, you should perform all those necessary regulative principle for Ashtanga yoga, and then sit down on your asana at a like palace, and then with your calm and quiet position, you can meditate on that Lord's form." So Narad further describes and said, the Lord is further described as, and then he said, "How?" Then this great young kid asks, "Okay, can you tell me, Narad Muni, how the Lord looks?" Then Narada describes about the Lord. The Lord is further describes this as having a mark of Sri Vastava, or the seating place of goddess of fortune. So mother, so goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, sits there, and he's saying his bodily hue is very deep bluish. The Lord is a person. Narad Muni continued, "He wears a garland of flowers, Vajanti Mala, and he is eternally manifested with 4 hands." Narad Muni construed instruction, and this, he is having a 4 hands, which holds from the lower left hand a conch shell, and the wheel, club, and a lotus flowers he is holding in his hand. And the entire body of Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva is decorated. He wears a valuable jewel helmet on his head. He wears a bracelets. His neck is adorned with kastuba jewels, and he's dressed in this yellow silk garment clothes. For the Narad Muni instructed him, and then he continued describing, and he said, "The Lord is also decorated with a small golden bells around his waist, around his lotus feet, and around his decorated with golden ankle, and his all his bodily features are very, very attractive and very, very pleasing to the eyes, and he is always peaceful, calm and quiet, and very pleasing to the eyes of and the mind." And thus when he instructed as a guru, what Narad Muni gave a mantra. Narad Muni gave Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And he said this is the 12 syllable mantra for worshipping Lord Krishna at that proper age. So when Dhruva Maharaj, the son of king, was thus advised by this great sage Narada Muni, he circumambulated actually Narad Muni, his spiritual master, and offered his respective obeisances by folding his hand, and then he started for this Madhuvana, which is always imprinted with the lotus footprints of Lord Krishna also, and which is therefore especially very auspicious. So we see how this young boy had a great fortune. Narada didn't say him to go back home. He dovetailed his tapasya actually. He put in a right way. He gave him the right direction. We also in our life need to direct our youth like Narada did to this one. So that's how we need to dovetail our ambition in a correct way. Let's see what happens when this young boy, 5 years old kids, he reached to this forest. So what happens? He started doing a great penance. Dhruva Maharaj, having arrived at this Madhuvana forest, it said, took this bath in this river Yamuna and observed great fasting in the night with great care and attention. After that, his advice, this when as advised by Narada, he engaged himself in worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what is there? So you will be very surprised to know this Dhruva Maharaj was able to see Supreme Personality of Godhead in just 6 months. So what was the penance he did? So for the first month, Dhruva Maharaj ate only fruits and berries on every third day, only to keep his body and soul together. And in this way, he used to continue worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in the second month, Dhruva Maharaj ate only every 6 days. And his eatables was he took this dry grass and leaves which was falling from the trees, and he continued worshipping Krishna. And in the third month, he only drank actually water. If you can see this water here, every 9 days, and thus he remained completely in trance and worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in the 4 month, Dhruva Maharaj became completely started practicing breathing exercise, and he was complete master of breathing exercise, and thus he inhaled air only once in 12th day. In this way, he became completely fixed in his position, and he worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's a saying by 5th and 6th month, you can see here, this Dhruva Maharaj, the son of the king, had controlled his breathing power, and he was so perfect in that he was able to stand actually on one leg. As you can see, so severe penance he did, just to was on one leg, and just as a column, you can see just as a column it was there, and he was standing without any motion and constant. He had his full concentration on his mind fully on the Para Brahman. And just a minute, yeah. Yes. And what happened when he was going? So it's mentioned in the scriptures in the 6 months. What happened when he was in the 5th month? He was able to live. So Dhruva Maharaj himself, when he was standing on one leg, it's mentioned in the scriptures, the pressure of this big toe, just a single toe, pushed down half of the earth. As his example is giving, as elephant being carried on a boat actually rocks the boat left and right, it will shake with every step. So this total universe breathing became actually choked up, and all the great demigods all in this planetary system filled they were feeling suffocation, and they took the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then when they reached to Supreme Personality, they prayed, please save us from this virus. The Supreme Personality of Godhead replied, my dear demigods, do not be actually worried actually. I I know it is this whatever suffocation your people are having, it is due to the severe austerity and full determination of the son of King Uttanapad, who is now fully absorbed in thoughts of me. He has obstructed the universal breathing process. You can safely return. Actually, he instructed all the time, you can return to your respective homes. I shall stop this boy in his severe act of austerities, and you shall be saved from this condition. So in this, it is said he in his meditation he was able to see face to face a lot in his heart. Within his heart he was able to see the supreme lord. Whatever Narad Muni has observed, he was able to see meet the lord also personally. And then what happened finally, it's a saying is that nobody actually can force the Lord to appear wherever his wish is there. And then so Dhruva Maharaj has lost all his envy. So what happened? The form, or you can see this, it's mentioned in the scriptures, this Prishni Garbha form of the Lord appeared in front of Dhruva Maharaj, and the form of the Lord, which was so brilliant like lightning, in which Dhruva Maharaj in his yogic process he was able to see, and he was meditating on the Lord. All of a sudden what happened, it disappeared. And then Dhruva Maharaj was very perturbed, and then his meditation actually broke. But as soon as Dhruva Maharaj actually opened his eyes, he saw supreme personality of Godhead in front of him, just he had seen in the Lord in within his heart when he was meditating. And what, I mean, he was not able to say anything. And then what happened, the Lord touched Dhruva Maharaj with his conch shell on his head. And then Dhruva Maharaj started. There is a wonderful prayers which is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam also. And then Dhruva Maharaj said, I was, oh Lord, please forgive me. I was looking for a glass actually. I found actually a diamond actually. Actually, so it's a mention. And there is Dhruva Maharaj was a very small boy. He wanted to offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in a suitable language. But because he was very inexperienced, he couldn't adjust himself immediately. And the Supreme, what did Supreme Personality of Godhead did? Being situated in everyone's hearts as a Paramatma, could understand Dhruva Maharaj's feeling. And whatever out of this causeless mercy, he took out his conch shell, and when he touched his Dhruva Maharaj's head, which was Dhruva Maharaj was like standing in front of Supreme Personality have got it with his folded hand. So it's a saying, then Dhruva Maharaj, a lot of prayers are there, but one of the prayers which I want to quote is there. He said, in spite of having you who are like us, he said he's glorifying the Supreme Personality of God. And in spite of having you who are like a desire tree and are the cause for people liberation from birth and death, foolish person such as me desired a benediction from you for sense gratification, which is available even to those who are living in this hellish condition of life also. So this Dhruva Maharaj was saying, I was looking for a glass actually, but I found a diamond. And then it's mentioned, and then how there was a conversation between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Dhruva Maharaj. So whatever you desire, the Supreme Lord, what happened? They fulfill it. And there is a mention, Dhruva Maharaj got a 3 benediction from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Personality of Godhead, then he replied, my dear Dhruva, actually, you have executed pious vows, and I also know the desire within your heart is there. Although your desire was very ambitious and very difficult to fulfill, but still I shall favor you with this fulfillment. All fortune unto you. And the Supreme Personality of further replies, and it said, my dear Dhruva, I shall award you this glowing planet known as the pole star, which will continue. So Dhruva Maharaj, it's nowadays also, if you look from our in the evening, there is a shining star is there, which is known as the Dhruva Loka, which you read Srimad Bhagavatam in Canto 5. It's given there how this material cosmos has been created. So this, it says, further the Lord said to him, not only that I will be awarding you this glowing planet, this pole star, and this said, he said, which this pole star, it will continue to exist even after the dissolution at the end of Millennium. Even if the universe also get dissolved, still this one will be. And they say no one ever have ruled this planet, which is surrounded by all the actually solar system. And it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, this all this luminaries, whatever is there in the sky, actually circumambulates this planet. Just as we see the bulls, how they trade around a center pole for the in the village, you might have seen there is a center pole is there, the like bulls revolve around and they crush the grains and all. So keeping the further Lord says, keeping this pole star actually towards the right, all the star inhabited, and they say that there is a mention the sages like even Dharma, Agni, and Sukra circumambulate this planet also, which continue to exist even after dissolution of this. And then said, and he said, he said, after your father goes to your forest actually and awards you to rule this kingdom, which the kingdom which you are hankering for, you will continue to rule this continuously entire world for 36,000 years. And all your sense, further Krishna says, even if you are ruling in this entire material world, all your senses will be continue to become as strong as they are now. You will never become old. So Krishna further says, and the Lord says, he continued, sometime in the future, your brother Uttama will go for hunting in the forest and he will be killed. Your stepmother Suruchi will be very maddened upon the death of her son, and you will be going in search for the forest. And she, like, because a forest fire will take place and she will die. And the Lord said, because I am the heart of all the sacrifices, you will be able to perform many, many great sacrifices and also grieve so many charities. In this ways, this is the most important thing, is saying you will never become old. And he's saying in this way, you will be able to enjoy the blessings of material happiness in this life. And Krishna further is saying, at the time of your death, you will be able to remember me and come to me. So personality of God, it says, at your material life is finished, when the material life of this body is finished, you will come to my planet, which is offered obeisances by residents of all the planetary system. So we see how much Dhruva Maharaj was giving a benediction. He was so ambitious and he got like that. And we see the results of the healthy ambition. We talk about two things. One, we talk about healthy ambition, which we can learn from Dhruva Maharaj. He said, like, I was looking for a glass, I found a diamond, and he gave them. The Lord gave him a Dhruva Loka also, and then he was given this three boons. And it's mentioned in this Bhagavad Gita, following such conclusion, the demonic who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy this world. So this ambition should be free from envy. So in the 16th chapter, Krishna talks about the demonic personality, or some people who have having demonic ambition. So Krishna talks here, ambition should be actually free for envy, free for jealousy. Sometimes when we see our subordinates is, or the neighbors or somebody is growing another, and then we start envying of them. Oh, look at the neighbor, he is like becoming glorious. We can be inspired by somebody if somebody is doing great, but this person has done so many wonderful activity, we should be following in the footsteps of this person. That is a healthy ambition. But Krishna here talks about unhealthy investors. The investors saying in this one, say, this demonic people are engaged in the activities that will lead to the world for destruction. The Lord states here in this one, these people are known as less intelligent people. This materialistic who have no concept of God actually think that they are advances. But according to this Bhagavad Gita, these people are unintelligent and devoid of all senses. They try to actually enjoy in this material world to the utmost limit. They work very day and night, and therefore they engage always in inventing something for his personal sense gratification. So Krishna says such materialistic inventions are considered to be the advancements of human civilization actually, but the result is that people are growing more and more violent and more cruel to animals, cruel to other humans. We see the brothers are killing brothers, only friends are killing. So many of things is happening. So let's see what's toxic ambition is there. So maybe as everyone is aware of this past times, can somebody says who is who here in this screen which is displayed here?
Ravana. Prabhuji,
Yeah.
Ravana.
Ravana Guruji.
Yes. So today we'll be learning small pastimes of Lord, since everyone is aware of this pastimes. So when Ravana abducts Sita, and as I say, because of ahankara, we are keeping in this material world. So Ravana was also terrorizing this complete world, and he stole the concept of Lord Rama himself. Sita, Lord Rama Sita, so everyone since is aware of this pastime. So this is kind of an example which we are trying to give is about toxic ambition. So see, Ravana was also so powerful. He wants to also want to achieve so many things. So he was terrorizing. He was like, see, he was having a one wife himself, but still he was having eyes on the concert of Lord Rama itself. And see that, and we all know the story how he went to jungle and abducts Sita Devi, and he went to Lanka. And then even we see this ambitious, like toxic people who are having this, even when they are being given a counseling by a good people also, they doesn't understand. We see in this picture also Ravana was giving a very good counsel by his from the Shastra. Vibhishana was quoting from the Shastras only. We shouldn't be doing this and this. Vibhishana, he was always giving Ravana with all due respect, the honor, the good advices, and tell him to give back the Sita Devi to Rama. And now he was going to be annihilated with his entire dynasty. If you don't give, he was saying, entire dynasty will be like annihilated. Ultimately, he knows Ravana was going to be killed, but because he was his brother, he basically totally rejected Vibhishana, and Vibhishana left and took the shelter of Rama. So even if you try to counsel these people also, they won't be aware. We see how ambitious Lord this Ravana was there. Okay, so this is a story about stairs to heaven also. So this is basically this history was mentioned. Lord Ramana, we have seen he have done so many of austerities, so many of penances he have done in order to get some fruits and trouble somebody. So he wants to build. Sorry, he wants to build actually a heaven in which like a staircase in which directly from this earthly planet he can go to this heaven actually. So this history of this ancient Poriwala is there. Poriwala is there actually. A Shiva temple is there, which is situated 5 kilometers away from that Nahan town districts of. If you go to Paunta Sahib, it's there. It's known as there. So Ravana wanted to build actually a staircase that to directly connect this earthly planet to this heaven. Why he wanted this? Because he wanted people should be praying him, people should be having power. He was so powerful, and he said like people should be respecting him because of his power. He will be coming, and I said, oh, you are so much big that you can directly go to this swarga is there. So this Poriwala is considered as Swarga ki Siri, or this stairs to this heaven, and by the devotees, and it's means a holy place in this actually Himachal Pradesh. If you go to this Himarur district, where Shiva temple is situated just from this 5 kilometer away. So it's a saying why he wanted to build this system, because he wanted people to worship him. He wanted a respect in the society, like he was the most powerful and he can have a directly access to the heaven wherever he want to go. So we have seen usually in this material world, whoever has been born, they directly can't surpass death and then go to the heaven or hell depending on their karma. So Ravana wanted to achieve that, and in order to do this, what he did a very strong tapasya, as like what the 5-year-old kid. So like that, many austerities Ravana also did. It is said this story is from that like when Lord Rama was about to become this king of Ayodhya. It is like said in order to become immortal, actually this Ravana thought he started worshipping Lord Shiva for many millions of years and thousands of years. And then what happens? Lord Shiva was very impressed and agreed to Ravana that yes, you can become immortal, but there is one condition is there. Lord Shiva said that if Ravana prepares 5 steps to heaven, he will be becoming immortal. And that's he granted a boon. So Ravana took this task. He said, it's just only 5 steps. If I bring, it's a very small job. I can do like that only. And Ravan, what he did, he made the first podi of. Podi means in that local Vasis, they said podi means staircase. He made the first staircase in Haridal, and it was known as Har Ki Podi. So then the second one was made in Shiv Mandir Poriwala. And the third, he built this third staircase in Chudeshwar Mahadev Mandir. And the fourth one was made in Kailas. So what happened? So all the demigods started praying and said, if this Ravana made this all this 5-1, what will happen? He will become very powerful. Everyone will be starting praying, and he will create a havoc. And what happened? Nidra Devi, by the permission of the Lord, she came there, and Ravana said, "Oh, I have already made 4 staircase, and still I have some time is there. Five stairs, the fifth one I can continue bringing in, like making within a fraction of time." And then with this, what happened when he thought, okay, I'll make, and as he sat down, Nidra Devi overburdened him, and then he falls asleep. And what happened? Ravan felt asleep, and when he woke up, it was already next day morning, and couldn't complete this fifth staircase on the same day. So it was bound, if you make this staircase in a single day, then only it will be there. And unable to fulfill this condition, the lord of this Lanka was very deprived of this immortality. And this Parivala, if you see, we go there, still the people go and worship there. So so there's a wonderful stories is there. So people are ambitious, but what are the motives are there in order they like want to kill somebody, or they want to there. So what happens, this kind of, when you're having a toxic ambition, so what was the result of toxic ambition? Can somebody say? We know all the stories. What happened? What is displayed in the pictures? Can some devotees say what you are able to see? Anyone?
Prabhuji,
Lord
Lord
Rama
Ram
is
is
killing
killing.
Ravana.
Yes. So see, Lord is watching all our activities. So once your pious karma gets destroyed, and ultimately what happens? This was the result of toxic ambition, and this Lord Rama killed Ravana, and that's how Ravana met to this. He ignored the good counsel from the Shastra, which was given from Bhibhishan also. So it is saying, there is a wonderful some stories is also there, which I'll be telling you. So it's a saying, think always about this biggest. Actually, if you have to think big, then think of the biggest. Don't be settled in the small, and that will purify your mind. If you have to think big, think of the big. Without guidance of Krishna, our ambition becomes toxic, because we become greedy. Sometimes in order to earn more also, we disturb so many peoples, and we take so many activities in which we harm other living entities, and we harm other peoples also. So it's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Yat karosi yad asnasi. So it means whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So thus it is the duty of everyone to mold his life in such a way that we shouldn't be forgetting Krishna in any of the circumstances, because whatever we have got, whether it's good health, good body, good wealth, good house, good family members, good food, it's because of the mercy of the Lord. And everyone has to work for the maintenance of this body and soul together. And Krishna recommends herein that one should work for him. Everyone has to eat something to live. And therefore, he should accept the remnants of the food stuff offered when we offered. So it's a saying, then we should be taken. Any civilized man has to perform some religious activities. It's mentioned in the Krishna said, do it for me. When we do this archana for him, everyone has a tendency to give something in charity. So Krishna says, when you give it to for me and you put center in me, what will happen? It means all the circular surplus money, whatever we have accumulated, should be utilized in furthering for this Krishna consciousness movement. So nowadays we see people are very, very much inclined to this meditational process, which is not practical in this age. But if anyone practice meditation on the Supreme Personality of God at 20 force of orders, we can say, but it's by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. So that's it. So next Sunday we'll be having a special class on this chanting, why we should be had we are chanting of Hare Krishna mantra also. So it's a saying this Krishna mentioned in this Bhagavad Gita, this is this greatest yogi. So ambition should be free from envy, free from jealousy. Looking at our neighbors, we shouldn't be becoming jealous. It's a mention there. Nowadays, what we say, advertisements also plays a major role. We might be seeing in the first slide, we might have seen some ambition are because of our status also. So already a new TV have came in your house, suppose like earlier it was like LCD TV, then LED TV. Further it came, now the TVs are coming 4K HD Ultra. So what happened then? Advertisement is coming in this, like suddenly a Shah Rukh Khan will be coming, and the kids will be there. You say dabba hai dabba, uncle ka TV dabba. So like it will be there. Say whatever TV you are having at your house, it's all of dabba. So until you don't change this, if you don't have it in a TV, they say like you are having a wrong TV, and then the wife will be looking towards the husband. Just now 1 month before only I bought this TV, and then the neighbors have bought a different, there's a new brand TV, I also want this TV. And then we see, in order to just buy this 1 lakh or whatever the price is there, this the family members again work very hard day and night, and then in order to satisfy his family members needs, that satisfied, that again he can watch in the same TV also. But since we get jealous, since the neighbors have got this TV, then we also want. So there is a one time beautiful story was there. His Grace Anadi Jagannath Prabhu was telling, there were two neighbors was there. So always there was a competition between these two neighbors. So whatever this new neighbors used to buy, the others neighbors used to buy the double of those. So anything, whether you buy one TV, so used to the other neighbor used to buy this two TV, and the second then like that it is. So everything he used to buy double. So next day when he bought one car, so he was very happy, he was showing it off. Sometimes we show it off to our society also. Then this neighbor, this gentleman also buy the two neighbors. So like that, whatever everything and everything whatever he used to buy, so what like this to get double. And this gentleman, he was so much dissatisfied, like whenever I want to show him off, he's like over showing off me then also. So then he prayed to the Lord, okay, whatever I am getting, he's getting double now. So what he did is he just took his eyes, and he just it's just a joke I'm just trying to say. So he just he took his knife and just like one eye is dead. And then next day he was very happy. Why he was happy? What was whatever he was having, then that what happened, that that gentleman got both of his eyes blind, and he was happy, like he now he won't be this. That's a kind of jealousy nowadays we are having. So ambition is good, but when it has been adopted in a good way, we will be able to lead in a higher way. We can treat our childrens, we should give our time to this people also. It's a saying, because we are so much busy in our daily to daily lives, that we don't give our time to the childrens also, our family members also. So we should be ambitious, but yet as the car goes on a four wheels, so we should be balancing all the other activities also. Not only we should be very ambitious, day and night we are working very hard, and then we are not able to have a mental peace also. So we should be a healthy way, and that's the scripture says, putting Krishna in between, you'll be able to lead a happier and a healthy life also. And at the end of this lifetime, you'll be able to go home, back home to God. Okay, so like every 3 months, we have this Gita Gyan course which we take. So this is like 18 chapters we cover in 18 days. So right now it's already one batch is going on. So if you feel any of your friends or families who wants to enroll to this course, so this is the QR code and this is the link is there. So it's a mention, like if you help them, they will be also getting this knowledge, and in they will be leadful, they will be having a happy peaceful life in their, through the knowledge of the scriptures are there. And once they complete this course, so they will be awarded a certificate. The minimum criteria is there, like if they attend this 12 days out of 18 days, they will be rewarded this. And at the end of this class, they will be having 5 questions, so they will be once they complete, will be awarded the certificate. So that leads to the next session of the class, which is question and answers. So if devotees have any questions, they can please feel free to shoot now. So, and if somebody wants to leave, they can leave. Thank you all devotees for taking out your 1 hour of time of on this precious Sunday evening, and for joining. So from tomorrow onwards, again, we'll be continuing our 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita at 7 p.m. So see you there. If somebody is having any question, they can ask. Okay. So maybe I can stop the recording.
Prabhuji,